What's up guys, today I'm going to tell you how to make a ton of gold in Lost Ark. This is the first video on the channel, so thank you for stopping by. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Hell, first video, I'll even take some pity subscribes and likes. Leave a comment below if any of these gold making tips you weren't aware of, and let's get straight into the content and get your money full in the game. Okay, let's get stuck into this, guys. It's time to make you some crazy gold. And the first way I'm going to recommend is by using the rapport system while maxing out your adventure tome. Now, we all love maxing out the adventure tome, and rapport is probably the longest part of it. But if it's done right, guide coming soon, by using Lost Merchants, you will be able to do this so fast. And what I'm going to recommend to you today is two zones in particular, the first of which is Arthurtine. Now, this is one of the earlier zones, and just looking at Sasha, for example, you can get 500 gold there, 1200 gold there, and 1800 gold there. So just from maxing out rapport with one NPC, there's 3,500 gold there, and a total of 4,300 for the zone. So you'd be crazy to turn that up. Not only are you going to hit those adventure tome goals, but you're going to make a ton of gold. The other one worth noting, and bear in mind this isn't an exhaustive list, there's gold all the way through this, especially in the later levels, is Punica. Now, Punica is one of the later zones we've got currently. There's a total of 10 NPCs here, and there's over 10,000 gold that you can get from this area. So what I'd recommend, guys, is make sure you're hitting those rapport and just have a look through the system menu, find the ones that are going to do gold and target those, and you'll get some great gains. Okay guys, tip number 2, and this one is dedicated to you 14, 15 plus players out here, but I do feel like this is something a lot of you may have missed. So if you don't recognize where I am, I'm over on Anguished Isle, which is in a tier 3 island. You can do a daily small dungeon here that takes minutes to run, and you get a special resource for doing that, and then you can exchange that for a lot of incredible things. So I'm going to speak to the merchant here. As you can see, there are incredible things I hope you've already got. I'm currently working to get this legendary Overwhelm rune, but the thing I want you to pay attention to is this right here. Now, you do have to be 14, 15 for this, but this is a legendary class engraving recipes, and you can get 2 of these, and it takes effectively 2 days to get each. I grabbed one yesterday, I'm getting the other today, and the beauty of this is they are worth a ton of money on the auction house, and these can be sold. So let's have a look quickly. If we just pop into the auction house, we'll go here. Sorry, we'll click on engraving recipe, change that to legendary. And then if we look, and we're going to look, obviously every server is different, but if we look at the prices on my server, so the highest one that I'd exchange this for is the Desperate Salvation Bard engraving. That's going for 6,000 gold right now. So for probably an hour's total work over a couple of days, you can get 12,000 gold just off this little trick. Okay guys, my next tip is more of an obvious one. Now make sure you are using trade skills. Obviously it's hugely important you level these up anyway, and some of the items are very, very lucrative on the auction house. So I'd recommend you check that out. So let's just have a quick look now. We can pop into the auction house. We can go on there. We can pop into the storage, and it's very easy to forget how much stuff you guys have got in here. Now, I've maxed out fishing recently, so for each 10 of these, I can get 8 gold. So I've effectively got over 250 gold there. And as you click through, they're worth 27 for 10. There's money everywhere. Look at that. I mean, that's 54 for 100. So if you want to make some gold, and I know bots are taking over trade skill gold farming right now, please comment away down below. Tell me how annoyed you are about that. It will help the algorithm hopefully get this video more views. I'm annoyed too, but there is still gold to be made using trade skills, and also you're going to be leveling up those skills as you go. So do get involved. But one top tip, do not do this through the stronghold. The XP is much lower, and those are not sellable items. Next one, guys, is gems. Now, you'll be getting gems from multiple different boxes for login rewards and various events that are going on. You'll be getting gems from your chaos dungeons every day. And what I would advise to you is, if you need to make some gold, funnel all those gems into one character and get them sold. Now, tier 3 gems, there is a huge market for right now. So I move all of my gems from all of my characters onto my Berserker. So as you can see here, he's currently sat on some 5s, 1s, 2s and 3s. And what I tend to do is I wait until I get to level 6. That seems to be the happy medium for me of where I want it. I'll go in the auction house and I'll just show you here. And this is, you can probably get 1 or 2 of these a week. If you're really grinding a good couple of alts and farming them all into one. But if you just look here, for example, look, the lowest price on a level 6 Annihilation gem is 2,000 basically. So there's a lot of money to be made here. And if you've got reasonable gems on your characters and you can do this once or twice a week, that's another 4k, which is more than you're going to be making from Argos, and a great little gold income source should you need to pump your money. Before we go any further, guys, as I said at the start, this is a brand new channel, so do me a favor, hit subscribe down below, like the video, share it if there's any groups you think could benefit from it, and more importantly, stick a comment below. Let me know which of these gold tips you didn't know, or more importantly, which ones I don't know yet, because ultimately the more guides I can build for the community, the more gold we can all make, the better. So get involved and do that down below. Next way to make gold is Adventure Tome collectibles. Now, when a new zone drops, people are desperate to max out that Adventure Tome, and it's something everyone's going to want to do anyway. Now, all of us who've played know to actually do this without buying some of this is just going to take hours and hours and hours. So, great way of making gold is by selling the Adventure Zone collectibles you don't need, or just investing some time into farming. Now, my top tip would be when a new zone drops. So as you can see on screen, this is South Vern, and when South Vern first came out over in Bellion Ruins, we got a new dungeon there you can run twice a week. But ultimately, this section here, which I'm showing you on the map, that is full of elite mobs. Now, elite mobs are more favorable to drop them. So when South Vern first dropped, these were making so much money just farming the collectibles, and you could make 10k an hour by running this little section here. There are obviously others, but that was my favorite position to run, and I'd completely recommend checking it out. But alternatively, it doesn't just need to be a new zone. So if we pop into the auction house here and have a look at Adventure Tome, just look at the price of some of these collectibles. So look, we've got one in Yawn here for 760. Even some of the blue rarity ones are worth 75 each. So I would massively recommend, obviously every server's different, but jump on, check what the value of the Adventure Tome items are, stick Netflix on, go do some farming and make some good gold. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, is masterpieces. Now, we've said it before, there's a ton of money to be made in all the collectibles, but the money for masterpieces is through the roof, and it's well worth investing time in because you also complete some of that horizontal content alongside making bank. So let me show you this. We'll just pop into the collectibles screen here, and then we'll click on masterpieces, view reward info, and as you can see, I'm working through it at the moment, but you've got these artist treasure chests here. There's one there, here, and then of course as you get through, there's some really big boy ones, like you've got 52 there. Now these are going to take some work, but these are worth 49,000 gold if you can get them all. For 20 masterpieces, you're going to get 3k. For 30 masterpieces, it's 5k. 34 is 8k, and 38 is 13k. But then this bad boy here at 52 masterpieces is worth 20k alone. So if you need to make some serious gold to buy that mega engraving or jewelry or stone or whatever you need, this is a huge time investment, granted, but the gold return is massive. Okay guys, the next method is going to be one you should all know, which is your Una's tasks. Now this resets weekly, and you've got multiple ways doing your dailies and weeklies and stuff that you can max out this bar here, and for each set you achieve, you're going to get some Una's tokens. Now these Una's tokens are massive because you can exchange these for gold crates in any major town, which I'll show you in a second. But my top tip here is make sure you max it out. I can get around 1,000 a week here, but as your eye level goes up, so will this. I've just hit 1415, so next week this should be more like 1500, which I can't wait for. And one thing I do is I tend to sit on those Cube and Boss Rush tickets, and when reset happens on a Thursday, run 3 on each of your alts and your mains, and you'll get this done in an hour or two. You'll get it fully maxed out, cash in, get the gold. Don't have to concern yourself for it then. You also get some incredible rewards. Don't ever run the Cube or Boss Rush without doing this because it's massive. But once you've got your Una's tokens, you're going to pop to a gold shop like I'm doing right here, and you only want to buy large gold chests. You can buy the others, but please hold out for the large gold chests. They're going to give you around 1,000 gold each, sometimes a little bit more, but the important bit is the large gold chests have the chance to drop giant gold bars, and what that's going to do is that could potentially net you an extra 10k gold, which is massive. But otherwise, this is one of the most conventional yet very important to pay attention to ways. Use the cube and the boss rush to do it quick, and make sure you only buy the large gold chests. As you can see here, I'm sat on my leftover ones. Now I could buy a hefty gold sack, but I'm going to wait and keep buying the large ones, so make sure you do the same. Next up, another obvious one I feel, but obviously we're all making sure we get our Chaos Dungeons and our Guardian raids done. But do bear in mind, you can put these on the auction house. Now if you're running multiple people, you've got to pay attention, because you'll be getting several hundreds a day if you guys are running this correct. And if we just have a look here, the price of these, so look at the tier 3, 8 for 10. Now you could be generating 200 of these a day like I am. Now yes, we don't always want to sell these, we want to keep hold of them so we can keep growing our characters, to play the latest content, etc, etc. But if you're in a pinch and you need to make some gold, you can make 300-400 gold a day on this. Now every server's price is different, but look at this, you can get 17 for 10 destruction, and the Guardian stones are going at 8. So there is money to be made there. Not one I'd usually recommend, because we want to push that eye level, but if you need a couple of hundred gold just to achieve buy the shiny new toy you've seen on the auction house, this is a good way of doing it, and you'd be surprised how quickly these can add up and you can make a lot of money. Before we go any further, I should point something out. My gold, considering I'm making this guide, is terrible, but there is a reason for that. I did clear my gold. I spent everything I had, because I'm also working on a how much gold can I make in 30 days video. Hit subscribe below, you don't want to miss that. There's tons of other stuff coming. If there's stuff you want to learn about, stick it in the comments. I'll happily make a video. But the next thing I'm going to recommend is using Procyon's Compass. Now, one thing that's important here is the Adventure Island. Now, these are doable once a day or twice at weekend. And if you go into them, there's always 3 you can do. They run every other hour. And there's a ton of different rewards, be it engravings, pirate coins. But hopefully, usually, there is one that provides gold. So today, Opportunity Isle, if I run it and do it, I can get gold. Now some of these can provide 600 gold, some a little bit more. But if you think if you're running these every day, or let's say they hit 5 times a week, there's 3,000 gold to be made just by ensuring you're doing your Adventure Island stuff. You're also going to be getting your Providus stones to buy new rapport items, island stones, you name it. There's all sorts of extra stuff, pirate coins, silver, all the stuff you need. So this should be built into the stuff that you ensure you do every single day. Next up is not only one of my favorite and most fun pieces of content, but one of the coolest out there, which is Abyssal Dungeons. Abyssal Dungeons are great and enjoyable to run with parties, and not only that, they bring in a ton of gold, especially when you start hitting the higher item levels. So let's just pop in and have a look at those. Now, one thing here is my top tip for you. I have paused all of my alts at 1340. Now, the reason I've done that is you can run gold to get the Gate of Paradise ones, but you can also do Aria's Well on normal, and there is a ton of gold there. So Aria's Well, which is the last stage we've got currently, running a full run on normal is worth 1,500 gold, and on hard mode, which I've been doing a lot on my Berserker, you can net 2,000 gold a week, and that's just off running Abyssal Dungeons. So imagine if I've got my main running this on hard mode for 2,000, I've got my 3 alts running at 1,500 each, which they'll all be doing next week. So there's 5,000 gold, plus you've got the Gates of Paradise. Depending on the size of your roster, the amount of gold you can make here is crazy. So do not neglect this and pay attention to item level, because with my Berserker, for example, he's just hit 1415, so I can no longer gain gold from this. So I'm going to be looking at stuff like Argos and Volton, which we'll be talking about next. Alright, next up is your Abyss and Legion raids. Now these are the big end game content, and I am blessed that I am in a fantastic guild. I'm on EU Central and Terrace, and I'm in the Bleeding Guild. Shout out to you guys, you've been a huge help. You've dragged me through some of this content, I'll be honest. But we've weekly been clearing P1 to P3 of Argos, which has been insane fun. And now I've hit 1415, we're coming after Volton as well. But if you just look at Argos, for example, P1 to P3 there is worth 2,700 gold, providing you're not buying the bonus chests in there. And not only that, but you're getting some really cool items, the potential legendary drops, and the ability to make the best armor in the game. And then aside of that, we've now got Legion raids, which I cannot wait to have a go. I'm going to wait for reset and run it with my guild. But at 14.15, there's obviously a ton more gold there, and at 14.45, if you can reach hard mode. So the end game content is going to be massive gold return, and I definitely recommend getting stuck in. So now that's that covered. We've got one more tip remaining, and it's a little bit unorthodox, but let's get into it. We had to mention it, guys. We just had to. Swipe. You can swipe. Now, I am a mostly free-to-play player. I've probably spent around £50 British outside of the Arc Pass, but that was mostly spent on skins and report items like these report chests, because I'm really trying to double down on that. But you can swipe. I don't want to get into the whole, is it right, is it wrong? If you're enjoying this game and you're getting, I've had 500 plus hours out of it already, I'm willing to spend a bit of money. If you are, good for you. Get stuck into the cash shop, but make sure you research the most important stuff for you. So there, guys, is over a dozen ways you can make some gold. Let's recap. Okay, there you have it. There has been all of my ways I can recommend you to make some gold. And if you apply all of these, you're going to be churning out 5 figures of gold a week. Easy. Hope this guide helped. If it did, subscribe, smash the like button. You know all the YouTube stuff by now. But really helpfully, stick a comment below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Open to criticism. Tell me how to improve, what you want to see next. Everything in between, and any gold making methods I missed in case I need to add them into a community driven second video. But really appreciate you watching it. Check out the channel, and I'll see you soon for some more Lost Ark and MMO videos.